Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, realtors of all ages and stages of their career. My name is Robert Newman, and I am a 15-year veteran of the real estate marketing industry. I've always focused on search engine optimization. These days, search engine optimization kind of means anything that relates to Google, because they organize all of the parts of Google around, obviously, their search engine, right? So YouTube. It's basically a big search tool, but for videos. The Google Image Library, big search tool for images. And now they have a tool that is rapidly becoming the #1 way for realtors to earn business, to do so cheaper and more effectively than any other advertising method than I have seen in the last 10 years. It used to be that Google itself, like just getting on the search engine in general, was the secret strategy. Everybody knows about Google these days, and it's a wildly leveraged tool to drive traffic to websites that then convert into leads. But Google has eliminated a step in that process. They've eliminated the part where you need to travel to a website. Many realtors don't realize that, and that's why I'm making the video. They've also created a tool to directly compete with Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com. All of you have probably heard of this tool. Many of you just don't realize how much they're doing with it. And so that's what this video is about. It's to pull back the curtain on the #1 paid and organic lead generating strategy that's available for real estate agents in today's marketplace. It used to be that for years now I've been talking about YouTube because YouTube was the #1 strategy. I would say that right now YouTube has dropped down to place #2, and that this strategy has become the #1 strategy for people to generate, for real estate agents and brokers to actually generate leads. Almost all of my clients are generating more leads for a cheaper cost point off this tool than the other tools that I've already mentioned, such as YouTube, Zillow, Trulia, all the things that you guys have already probably heard about and know. So what's the tool? It's simple. It's your Google My Business page. Okay, that's it. It's a Google My Business page. Do you not know what that is? So when I Google my business, let's just say I say inbound, like real estate marketing company, right? But I'm doing a local search. So, because I've got location turned on my computer, which most people do. So I get this nifty hyperlocal search pack. Okay? That connects into this right here. Do you see it? That is a Google My Business profile. And anywhere within 70 to 100 miles of the location of my business, if anybody does one of these hyperlocal searches that relates to real estate marketing in general, I come up #1. Now, granted, I don't really do broad like real estate marketing. I just do a very specific type. But nonetheless, I get, maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. Actually, you know what? I'm not wrong. This is talking about my company website. It's not talking about my Google My Business profile, which is this right here. All right, so how does this relate to real estate agents? So if I do the same search, okay, and I'm going to use Realtor and Sugarland because I just always use the same guy for the sake of these examples. It's a guy by the name of Brett Wallace. He does some business with me. And Brett Wallace is a realtor in Sugarland, which is a suburb of Houston. It's effectively, if you're here in California where I'm at, it's the same thing as saying you live in the San Fernando Valley. It's literally that big, that prevalent. So here's Brett. These are the paid search advertisements right here, serving Sugarland. So Google is breaking it down by local proximity to the place that people are doing the search. The more relevant that they feel that you are, and the higher that you bid, the more likely it is that you're gonna be served up here. But all these people probably have maxed out bidding enabled. That just means that you'll bid whatever it takes. So every single one of these people is saying that they've got maxed out bidding. Now, for a while, when we first got into these search results, Brett and I were number one. And Brett did so many transactions so fast at an average cost of acquisition at that time of like $45 per sale. You'll never see anything. Now, I think the number has increased to a couple $100s. But still, in comparison to Zillow or Trulia and the examples that I have in hand, this right here, which connects to your Google My Business profile, is 1,000,000 times more cost effective. You also can directly send messages to the realtor, and you can call the realtor directly. These are all elements of this particular advertising that are not in place for your profile with Zillow or Trulia, or at least not in place all of the time, or that you have to spend extra because they're a mature marketing company that has had a death grip on the market for a really long time. So they've done some things that are really unfriendly to you as a real estate agent. Now, this is much friendlier. I'm not saying it's still the best thing ever. Google has definitely degraded the value of the organic search results because of these paid search results. Now, organic are these, okay? And for a very long time, and still to this date, I think that if you're in Sugarland and you search for Brett's name, he does come up number one, only when you're in Sugarland though, so I can't show that to you because I'm not in Sugarland. However, from a local perspective, if you're in his area and you do the search, he will come up number one. And there's a lot of tricks. I'm not going to make this video about optimizing this profile. And from a paid search perspective, like I have already done a blog post on talking about what you specifically need to do in order to get into the hyperlocal search results. And the example that I used at that time showed a client of mine being number one inside these hyperlocal search packets. Okay, so the client got there and he did some transactions, and what we talk about inside this blog post are signals that you can send that are going to make your Google My Business profile far more relevant to Google. Now, my belief is that as this advertising method matures, this paid advertising method that we've been looking at, I think that eventually Google will start to apply some of the same organic signals to the paid search results as they did with everything else. I think that briefly they did apply those organic search methods because all of my clients that signed up for this advertising were number one. For a while, they were all number one, and then I think that Google changed it to saying that it has something to do with money or the way that you bid because most of these guys wouldn't beat my clients. Now, Found Realty might because of the number of reviews, the Loken Group with 1,338 organic reviews, but when it comes to an individual agent, my agent, who's my client, has more and better reviews and a better Google My Business profile than almost any of these guys do. And what qualifies as a good Google My Business profile? When you go down, this is the paid search result. When you look at this and you see all these pictures, 17 of them in total, you see a guy that is connected to his clients, who also knows how to leverage digital. He's just out here doing good work with his clients and making sure that he posts it to his profile. Now, obviously, there's elements of this paid search stuff that I hate, like See All Real Estate Agent. It connects you into other real estate agent profiles. Now, it doesn't do that on the organic profile. The organic profile is your profile. So when we find Brett's profile amongst all these other profiles, wherever it is, I think it is pretty deep down here when I'm searching from California. It might be like 2 or 3 pages down. When you search for that profile and you find it wherever it is, let's just do it this way. So when I do Brett Wallace, Realtor, inside these Google Maps searches, if I had even done his his name. I've actually connected myself. When I'm doing a search, it has a map. Most people don't know this, but Google actually has a second search engine. Okay, it's operating differently. So if I put in Brett Wallace's name, I'm not going to get his website or the normal traditional searches. I'm going to get only the hyperlocal results. So chances are strong. Let's just see what happens if I do this Brett Wallace just in here. Drop the realtor. Nope. So now it says go to Brett Wallace, and he's still on the first page for his own name, which, sorry, that's impressive. For those of you who don't know much about SEO, you're just going to have to take my word for it. That's impressive. When I do Brett Wallace Realtor, one of the first things I get as part of the search packet is this. So we have his website here, and we have his hyperlocal, his Google My Business profile here. Okay, and why is this so relevant? Because this is like a social profile for a business that is connected directly to your Google search results. So it's a strong, powerful, powerful marketing piece. It connects very deeply into what's going to happen on your website. And are people feeling like you're digitally present, digitally savvy, digitally, alive? But this is my favorite part. Brett really took my advice, and he's responded to every single one of these 55 reviews. If you go through and read this, you learn a lot about Brett and who he is as a person. And I know for a fact, because he's told me, that a lot of people do exactly that. At this point, the number one driver for Brett's business is phone calls off his Google My Business profile. Number one, not number two, not number three. Gives him more business than his Zillow. He does have a Zillow account. He does pay for advertising, but this is outperforming. Okay? So, and he spends less on it. He might total spend $500 on this kind of stuff. And he's just raking in the business, even in the super competitive market that we're in. And no doubt about it, the reason that he's doing so well is his extremely strong presence digitally. And I associate a lot of that with the Google My Business profile. Now, as a guy that builds websites and has a business that builds websites, you might be wondering, why am I pushing something that doesn't need a website? And my answer is this. I don't really consider myself to be a website vendor. I actually just consider myself to be like a marketer, and I've decided to focus on real estate. And so what I do is I talk about what I don't want to focus on all aspects of real estate marketing. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, so I stay away from it. However, I am a big fan of Google, and always have been, and I deeply dive into their world. So if they come up with something that doesn't necessarily relate to me, that I'm not monetizing, I'm still going to talk to you guys about it. I'm still going to say, this is the place you should be looking at. My favorite part about the Google My Business profile is take away the paid part, and this is a free tool. You, with an email account, can go open it today. You can start talking to your clients about giving you reviews today. You can go off and add photos and videos today. And within 6 months to a year, if you really worked diligently at it, which is exactly what Brett did, this all came alive in less than a year. And we are already seeing massive results from it. 12 transactions, maybe more. So for those of you who are sitting here always asking about, oh, what can I do? How can I do? Or it's too expensive or this is a thing you can do for free. So there is no conversation about expensive. This is just, do you have the drive? Are you going to make an amazing Google My Business profile, solicit reviews? And they don't have to be client reviews. They can just be reviews from people that you've taken out in your car. They can be reviews from friends, vendors. Brett took my advice. I've got a review on here. The reason that my review comes up first is because I am a local guide. So this adds credibility to the profile. Like if you get somebody who's kind of a really relevant reviewer and they review you and say something positive, this counts. This is like an extra strength review. That's why I leave reviews for businesses that I go visit and such, so that when I occasionally drop one of these reviews for a client, they really move the needle for that particular client. So I hope that you found this video useful. Geez, you really should have. Because this is everybody's always asking me, what's the next thing? What's the bleeding edge? Ladies and gentlemen, besides the technology that hasn't quite come to fruition yet, such as augmented reality, virtual reality, this right now, this is moving the needle today. And it's bleeding edge. It's only really been something that Google has focused on since the early part of this year. So all of these profiles, like, you're not that far behind. Watch this video, embrace this video, and you have a chance to catch up and excel and exceed above all of your competitors. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Do me a favor and drop a comment on the blog post. My marketing team works really hard on them, and I know they love seeing what did you like and what didn't you like about the content. I'll talk to you soon, or see you soon.